Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to the survival world. I hope you're doing very well today. Last episode we started work on our custom village. I'll quickly catch you up in case you missed it. It's pretty much all behind me here, at least the main gist of it, but we have this ginormous wall going all the way around the village. We'll quickly take a little fly around so I can show you the outside because it's a little bit different to the inside, but we have this magnificent wall going all the way around the area we laid out with our two entrances we also built, connected up with a river in the middle. We also added in this small little boat coming in through the main entrance, and yeah, I think that's pretty much everything we did, at least in regards to the village, and we're going to be doing some more stuff over here today. And before we actually get to building, I just quickly want to walk you through my rough plan that I've come up with. So this is just a little something I've created in Photoshop, which I want to spend a couple of minutes talking about here because I think it's going to be pretty important for this whole village idea we're doing. So let's start over on the left hand side where you can see I've listed out all of the villager professions with their workstations next to them and 1 to 3 dots. Now those dots basically correlate to how many of that certain villager we're going to have in our village. So let's take the butcher for example. That one only has 1 dot. Not too fussed about the trades that one offers, nor does it really make sense to have a whole lot of butchers in our village here, but let's take the farmer for example. Very good for getting a lot of emeralds for trading, and it makes sense to have a lot of farmers in the village, right? So same goes for librarians and fishermen. This is a fishing village, so makes sense to have a lot of fishermen, although I probably won't make a whole lot of use from those trades. Now let's move on to the actual layout of the village. So because we have our river going through the middle, it's kind of been split up into 2 sections. So we'll refer to them as the north side and the south side. I have no idea what cardinal direction they actually face, but just for now, top and bottom, north side, south side. So over on the north side is where all of the houses and villager profession buildings and just anything people living here would use. So this is where they will sleep, go to work, and kind of just reside over on the north side. And down on the south side is where anything visitors of the village would go to. So I've noted out a couple of things here which I kind of want to get to building today. Don't think we're going to have time for the loading area. I haven't designed anything for that, but we've got a bridge connecting them in the middle. Marketplace probably doesn't need a whole lot of explaining, and a meeting hall, which I will talk more about when we get to that today later on. But everything else going there will kind of be like inns, taverns, maybe shops if they want to pick up a couple of things. Basically anything visitors could make use of if they came to stay for the day or a couple of days or however long really. So how does that all sound? You like the idea of it? Obviously it's a very rough plan, as I said. I've still got the Photoshop file, so I may still go back and edit it over the course of time, or maybe we can actually do some in-game planning and kind of lay out where a lot of the buildings are gonna go. I'm not really sure. I've never really done anything like that before. I usually just kind of build as I go and see what happens, but maybe I could try my hand at that. But before we actually start building, I just kind of want to clean up the area a little bit. So I've obviously got to get rid of our giant crop field in the middle here because I'm not really using it and it's very in the way. And I think I'm also going to move these 2 farmers underground somewhere with the rest of our villagers. We now have a very tidy working area to start building on, and I've just noticed there's 2 sand there for some reason. That stands out way too much for me to not do anything about, so real quickly let's just grab 2 dirt and replace that, and hopefully that stops driving all of you insane. There we go. Maybe I can put this somewhere with the sand. But yes, we have all of our area laid out now, ready to start building, as I said. And I think if we just bring the map up actually a second, my village plan, we want to get done today the bridge, the marketplace, and the meeting hall at the very least. Now, if we have time for anything else, then we can do something else, but that's what I've got in mind. And bridge is going to go here, marketplace here, meeting hall over there. So I guess it makes sense to work our way across. So to begin with here, we're going to start with a bridge so we can connect both sides of the river. This time lapse looks a little bit different to the usual ones, doesn't it? That's actually because I have a shaders pack installed. This one is called BSL Shaders. It pretty much just makes Minecraft look amazing. I use it all the time for my tutorial videos and a few other ones here and there. But the pre-releases for 1.15 Optifine has just come out that supports shaders. By the time this video goes live, the full release of Optifine will probably be available for 1.15, but that now means we can use shaders in this world, and I want to get your guys' opinion on how much you would like to see them incorporated into the video. So whether you really like shaders and want to see them in the video all the time, or not all the time maybe, but a lot of the time, or whether you hate shaders and never want to see them on my channel ever again. Probably not that extreme, but I know it's a very divided opinion. Some people really like them, some people really don't like them. So there's going to be three options. Either you want to see them lots, you don't want to see them lots if at all, or the middle ground, which is what I'm leaning towards, of just kind of incorporating them into a time-lapse every now and again, like we're doing here, and just keeping them for fairly cinematic stuff, as opposed to just being in first person, having shaders on. We'll keep that as normal. So I'm going to put a poll on the screen. If you guys could vote on one of those three options, that would be really helpful. Thank you for doing that, and I hope you like the bridge. Let's go check it out in first person in regular looking Minecraft. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see, but at the end of the bridge on the right hand side you can see the Wandering Trader's two llamas, and I've been waiting here for like a couple of minutes now, just kind of hoping he would start crossing the bridge so I could begin recording, but he is not. He's being stubborn and just staying right there. But yeah guys, this is the bridge. How do you like it? I actually had something a little bit different in mind to begin with, especially with the middle section. This was what I actually originally intended. Now, the one I've got at the moment and what I ended up with is 2 blocks wider, mainly so I can physically fit any ships that come through. It's now 8 wide. It was actually 6, and this boat alone is 7, so it could fit through. I think height would be okay. Ooh, maybe not. Let's pretend the height is okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not actually going to be going under the bridge. But yeah, had to change things up a little. Had to increase the height by a lot. Didn't really think of the boat problem until I started building. So the edges kind of slope off, or like drop off really, and I didn't know exactly what to do, so I'm not too fussed about these parts here that you didn't see in the time lapse, but I think it looks okay. And yeah, generally solid bridge designer. I'm quite happy with it. You guys can of course let me know of any improvements. And by the way guys, if you ever have any build suggestions for me to do and ideas that you want to kind of describe to me as opposed to writing them in words, you can send me a picture on Twitter. I have Twitter. I barely ever mention it apart from at the start of the video when my overlays are on the screen. So yeah, if you guys ever want to send me builds, Twitter or my Discord link would be the best place. So if you got a better bridge idea or something different we can do here, I'd love to see it. But yeah, this is what we've got so far, and now we can start work on the second part of this area here, which is going to be the marketplace. And before, oh, more squid dying unfortunately, before we start building anything too permanent, I actually want to kind of lay out this area a bit and kind of just plan where the building at the back here, the meeting hall, is going to go, as well as the whole marketplace. I just realized how epic of a view this is going to be once we've got this whole section here all complete, coming over the bridge and just watching it all unfold. It's going to be really cool. But as you can see, I've laid some stuff out here and there really isn't a good place to stand, so we're going to have to do this while kind of flying back and forth. But as you can see, I've marked out where our market stalls and the main meeting hall is going to be. Let's go back up again. But you can see the 6 on the outside are slightly bigger than the 2 in the middle. Let's try not to crash and die. And I'm imagining these 6 on the outside are going to be like facing inwards to try and contain the marketplace and, you know, shut off the sides. It probably doesn't make much sense at the moment, but that's what I'm imagining. And yes, I know, they're not perfectly in a row, they're not symmetrical. It's intended to be that way. I think it's going to look a lot nicer doing it this way, in my opinion anyway. And then we've got these two in the middle here, which I'm not definitely going to add. I'll have to see how it all looks when it's done, but I would like to have two more smaller stools in the center that are kind of open concept and you can approach them from any side, as opposed to these being just from the front. Again, usually with stuff like this, I can picture this exactly in my head. I'm just trying to convey it the best I can to you guys. But then at the back here is where we've got the big old meeting hall. As you can see, it's going to be a pretty big and very tall building actually. So you will most likely be able to see it from the other side of the bridge here, which I think is going to be really sweet. I cannot wait to get this done, honestly. The main thing I'm struggling with right now is obtaining enough wool to make all of these stools. I'm gonna need like 3.5 stacks for everything, I think, if I've calculated that right, and there's just not enough sheep in my free range animal barn here. This whole idea is kind of backfiring on me a little bit. We've already made the cow farm hidden away underground, and I think I'm gonna have to trap some sheep just so I can make an automatic wool farm, but for the meantime, this should be okay. For some reason, I am in perpetual flight mode. I genuinely can't stop. Like, there's nothing I can do. I can jump, I can this and that. I wonder what happens if I take my elytra off. Nope. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. I'm literally Superman. Look at me go. Oh my god, I've never... Oh, my day has just been made. That is amazing. This is a monumental day for me. I'm about to do something that's going to shape the way I play this game for the rest of my life. I am going to make a change of my hotbar order. So I'm assuming it's not just me that has a specific order of everything on their hotbar, and it's been like that since they started playing Minecraft. I cannot remember a time playing this game where I didn't have this order of tools and then some food and some blocks and some torches at the end, with a little space to hold my hand out when I'm walking along, because I like to have my hand out when I do that. So yeah, I'm gonna make a change. It's probably long overdue. I'm gonna switch my torches with my rockets. I never use torches. I don't know why they're there really, and I probably should have made this change ever since the elytra got introduced, because every time I want to fly I have to open up my inventory, and doing it this way is gonna be much better. So yeah, big day for me here, very big day indeed. But yes, you can see all of the market stalls are in place. I've still got a ton of work left to do, but the actual structure of them are done, and I think it looks really cool. It's got a nice feel to this whole place. I do in fact like the middle ones. I wasn't sure of that beforehand, but I think they turned out okay. And now what I've got to do pretty much is decorate each of them so they look like they're individually selling a certain something. So we'll have a butcher's stall and a fisherman's stall and that sort of stuff going on, and then I'm probably going to change out a lot of this floor for stone, as I'm thinking we're going to have stone pathways going all the way around the village. So yeah, next time jump should look pretty cool once it's all done. And there we go, the marketplace is now finished. As you can see, I've done a lot of work, so let's make our way through this and kind of talk about what I've done. I think to begin with here, we're going to talk about the walkway and the floor we've got. So I don't know whether I've added in too much detail. Usually whenever I texturize something, I will try and think about it in a smart way, but for this one, I've kind of just gathered together a bunch of stone types and placed them willy-nilly all over the place, and I don't know whether it looks good or not. I'm thinking I might take out like some of the andesite and the regular stone, wherever it is, and kind of just keep to like these ones here, the crack, the cobble, and the regular stone brick, and maybe a little bit of gravel. Obviously we'll keep the dirt and all of the indentations into the ground, but yeah, for now we'll leave it. I'll wait and see what you guys say. But where should we go on to next? Let's talk about the actual stalls. So on each of them they have their own little flower pot, which is meant to be a money pot, which is where, you know, they put their coin and take whatever item they want. So each of the stalls have those. So as well as some extra storage under the counter here, which I thought was kind of cool. But I'll quickly run through these all. We've got the blacksmith over here. Over this side is the butcher, and then the two in the middle are actually the fisherman. This is going to be kind of like the main good that's being sold in the entire village, so I thought it made sense to have those two being the middle one, kind of sharing that role. We've got armorer over here. This is the herbalist area, or market stall, I guess. Over here is the leather worker, and last but not least, the jeweler, a place to sell gems and other whatnot stuff like that. Okay, next, what have I done? I've got a few of these lampposts around, which I think is what we're going to add in a little bit around the village. Not too much detail going on, fairly simplistic. I think it looks okay. Also, a few of these carts I've added in. We've got one over here, another larger one round the back here, just carrying like crates and all that other good stuff, and then another one round here. Also, a little crack in the pathway, making a little puddle coming from the river. I thought was quite a nice little touch. And yeah, last but not least, something which is my favorite part of this whole market stall, the easel over here, where our painter is gonna do portraits and whatnot. At the moment, he's just doing a landscape photo because he's not got anyone to draw. But yeah, I love this. I did it in my Techtopia series, and I've done it much better here. This is also his little coin pot as well, but I've done it much better. I've managed to line it up perfectly centered, and I want to hop into a test world real quick and actually show you guys how to do it, because some of you may like to add that into your world. So on my hotbar is pretty much everything we're gonna need for this. So we start by placing our stair down where we want our painter to sit in his chair, just like that, and then we're gonna make a formation of blocks around like this. So 5 blocks down with the 2 gap in the middle, and then we can place our arm stand in. Now make sure you're facing perfectly straight so you can see that that's pretty much a straight line. A little bit of wonk, but doesn't matter too much, it'll be fine. And then what we can do now is actually maybe hop into survival for this next part. It's a little bit easier for me, but pretty much we want the armor stand to be lined up just left of where the 2 blocks meet. So we can see this is the center of these 2 blocks. We want it around about here on this pixel, let's say. So we can do that by pushing the armor stand gently with water until we get it in this area where we want it. So 2 blocks meet there, maybe a tiny bit more if we can. Yeah, I'd say that should be good. And then we can hop back into creative, and we want to place our trapdoor down so it's whoops like that. You can see that's pretty much lined up with it already, and then we can go ahead and actually push that trapdoor down using a piston into the armor stand, get rid of those blocks there, and as you can see, pretty much done here. We'll put our painting down, obviously cycle through until you get one that you want. It doesn't really matter for me though, and then we can hop back into survival again. For me, it's easier, and basically tweak this until we push it all the way in and you can't see it from either side, and then we can go back into creative, get rid of these blocks here, and just like that we have our easel. A very small detail that's pretty difficult to do, but I think it's well worth it, and yeah, looks super cool. Oh, what a beautiful sunset over our marketplace here. Really happy with how this has all turned out, and it's about to become a whole lot better because we're now going to build the giant meeting hall. And I think we're already getting a little bit on with this episode. Time is running out, so we're just going to jump straight into a time lapse with this one and get it all built up. The view we're about to witness is what I've been waiting for this entire episode, so here we go. Prepare yourself, strap in, because hopefully this is going to look really cool. As we come over the bridge, see the top of our meeting hall, and then the rest of the marketplace unfolds, and eventually, you know, when we've got this whole side done, the south side, which actually is facing east. Ah, okay. Well, that works out, unfortunately. But, yeah, once we got this whole east side done, I guess, it's going to look amazing coming over this bridge. I cannot wait. But for right now, I really love it. I really do. So, we haven't done the inside just yet. I'm going to get to that after I've done this clip. It's looking very empty and barren in here. But this building, honestly, inside and out, I probably spent a good 3 to 4 hours on it. Now that may seem like quite a long time, but you guys know me with building. I'm quite a perfectionist when it comes to most of my builds, especially one that is going to be pretty much the main focus of this entire village. I don't think there's going to be many buildings that are actually bigger than this one here, and it's probably going to be the most important building in the village if this were to actually be a functional one. I've just noticed there's something slightly off with my roof here. Whoops. And my axe and shovel are also the wrong way around. It's all over the place. But yeah, this is going to be like the main centerpiece, I would imagine. It's going to stand out the most, so I really wanted to make sure it was something I was proud of and I really liked. And I do. I'm really happy with how it came out. You guys can let me know what you think about it. But yeah, I'm super happy. But as I said, we now need to work on the inside and actually decorate this place a little bit. I appear to have caught myself some bees in a boat. Not too sure what these guys are doing. Maybe they're trying to plan an escape or just going for a sail around the ocean. But either way, they seem happy enough, and I'm just going to leave them there, enjoying their boat that they now own. I guess I need to get myself a new one. But anyway, let's go and check out the meeting hall on the inside and what I've done. So we actually have 4 levels to this place, which we will check out all of them gradually, but we're going to start off down here in the basement over in the corner, which is just used for general storage. As you can see, we've got a bunch of barrels and crates and all sorts of other stuff. Also some hidden lighting, because I have to actually light up this place. I don't mind if a creeper or something else spawns here and there around the actual village, but if I can stop them doing it in houses, that would be great. So this should, all of it, be above like level 7, which is great. And over here is actually a neat little trick by putting some of the food types you can cook on campfires and extinguishing them. So how you actually do this is not by putting the food on the campfire then waterlogging it with a water bucket. Your items will just go everywhere if you do that. What you actually need to do is brew up some splash water bottles, basically. So water bottles with gunpowder, and you'll get yourself some of them, and then you put your food on your campfire once it's lit, and you've got 30 seconds to basically extinguish them with the bottle before they're cooked and they pop off. And then once you've done that, you should have something that looks a little bit like this, which then allows you to store food in this way, which I just think is a really cool little thing that you can do to make your build look a little bit more interesting. And going back up to the first floor, this is actually where all of the, oh, look at that sunset. How wonderful. This is actually where all of the meeting and business would take place. So any traders that come in on ship, they would go to here to discuss business with the mayor or whoever lives in this building. I think I'm going to call them the mayor. They can sit in this chair. I will act as manager for now. They can plonk themselves in here and yeah, do all the business and talking they need to. Got their accounting book, and notice the lack of chair on the other side of the table. Real power play by the mayor there. Also, I needed to hide some lighting under the carpet. That's the main reason. But yeah, so we've got a meeting room down there, and on the second floor, and the one above it is basically owned by whoever sits in that chair, which up here is the kind of art/break room, I guess, somewhere they can just go to relax. So we've got some reading, music, and paintings on the wall. Just a nice place to chill out. And then up here is actually the bedroom. So we've got some shelves displaying just various items, some armor, and a writing desk over here. Never really used a lectern before on a desk. I think it looks okay. Little bit funky, but I think it works. And of course, our actual bed, which I need to go to sleep in because I don't want to go outside when it's dark like this. And that is now the interior all done, as well as the build itself and everything else we did in today's episode, because unfortunately guys, that is where we're going to have to call it for today. I really hope you like how this will turn out. I absolutely love this little section here, and it's just made me so excited to do some more work on the village. I'm feeling super inspired at the moment, and before we do go, I just want to get your opinion on something for a second here. So I've been considering doing this village project as somewhat of a mini-series within the survival series itself. So I've been titling the past 2 episodes, this one and last week's one, as building a custom village and then whatever we've been doing in the episode. So shall I keep that going for a little while and kind of having this be the main focus of the series, and maybe every now and again say I need to go and build an iron farm for whatever reason, or go build something else somewhere in the world, we can have an odd episode chucked in here and there, but keeping this as the main priority for the meantime, just because I'm so excited to do some more work on this village. I've got tons of ideas that I want to get to, and it's a pretty big project, so having a mini-series within the series, Serieception, I think would be a good way to go about it. But you guys can let me know what you think about that, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy it, and I will see you next week in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.